last week, I went over with you guys what I think are the best animatronics of every single year for the last 20 years. And I got some comments telling me that I should do that exact same video, but as the worst animatronics of the year. And that is what we're here to do today. What is going on, guys? Spooky Guy 444 here, coming at you with a brand new video. And like I said in that intro, today we are now looking at the worst of the worst animatronics, Halloween props, you know the drill, of every single year from 2005 to 2026. I will be doing the same thing that I did in that video. If you have not seen the best one, go ahead and check that out. But basically, we're going to be going over 2005 to 2025's absolute worst animatronics. And then I'll also be doing a little tidbit at the end for 2026 so far, because we do have some stuff, even though it is early and stuff can change. But with that out of the way, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this. It's the same exact video, but with the absolute worst of the worst. I think I got some crazy takes in here. I'm Spooky Guy 444, and let's get into the video. So, the worst Halloween prop of 2005 was actually very difficult. This whole video, the research took so much longer to do than the best. I really had to make sure that I got these bottom slot props right. And for 2005, I'm giving it to Morbid Industries with Vaughn. Vaughn is a static prop made by Morbid Industries in 2005. And yeah, it just looks really ugly. I don't like how it looks. It's one of those flat back things. The stance is weird. It's so goofy looking. I don't quite understand it. The stuff at the bottom of 05 actually isn't that bad. I would say Vaughn is the worst, but he's not the most egregious thing that is on this list by far. And that goes for the honorable mentions as well, with the 2005 Freddy Krueger and the Fitco Pumpkin Man. 05 Freddy, while it's cool that it has Robert Englund phrases, some of them actually being unique to the prop, and that's pretty much it. That's all it has going for it. And then the Fitco Pumpkin Man is just, you know, Fitco is basically Sunstar before Sunstar was like really like a big name, like a household name. So their stuff counts. I never do count Sunstar or GTI stuff in my videos, but Fitco, it's kind of like a little cheat sheet. And now for 2006, I have a really deep cut for the worst this year. It is Spirit Halloween's Jailhouse Monster. This is basically just like one of those really cheaply made fabric things with plastic poles that make it expand out, and then it's got like a reindeer motor inside that moves these two sets of eyes up and down, and there's light up hands that are outside of the jailhouse. Yeah, it's ghetto, it's ugly, it's like nobody remembers it, and that's fine. Like, it's not good. And then for honorable mentions, I have the Fitco Evil Clown and the Spinning Tortured Man from Night View / now Seasons USA. Yeah, the clown's ugly. It's generic, like I said. Same thing with the pumpkin guy. And then for the Tortured Man, I just think it's really ugly looking. Like, it doesn't look good, and it's super skinny in person. Like, it is basically paper thin latex. It's really bad. So, gotta give it to these three. For 2007, I have as the worst Fitco's Fairy Princess. Now, Fitco Fairy Princess, I want to draw some interesting comparisons to the Black Widow Flaming Witch. A story prop, a burnt witch. Why is this witch or princess thing, why does it look like a burnt corpse? Like, that is my thing. Why does this fairy princess look like a burn victim? It looks so bad, but it just stands there and lights up and has the look who's coming phrases. Like, that is it. It is so stupid. It's so ugly looking. It looks like it's paper mache, to be completely honest. Yeah, it's definitely their worst. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Dr. Death from Fitco, and then I have the Posable Reaper from Jemmy. I won't talk about much about Dr. Death because I'll just be reiterating the same stuff. But with the Posable Reaper, I actually have him on here, not because it's entirely bad. It's very generic, it's very boring, but it was a standout thing for its time. It's just between not aging all that well, and actually because 07 didn't have a lot of really bad stuff come out that year. I think Posable Reaper is the best thing on this list, like, period. I think he is the best. It's just I couldn't figure out anything else that was worse that came out in 2007. I think it was a pretty solid year for Halloween that year. I think Fairy Princess and Dr. Death are just the bottom of the barrel. The Posable Reaper is the best thing on this list. It's not bad at all, really. It's just I could not think of anything else to put here. And now for 2008, this is completely dominated by Jemmy's continuation of the posable line. So for the worst, I have the posable zombie, the one that has like the ghastly gentleman head. The hair looks awful. The tuxedo looks boring. It does stands there and does nothing. And then for the honorable mentions, I have the posable bald zombie and the purple hooded ghoul that also has the ghastly gentleman face. I like that it's a Reaper character more for the ghoul. And then the zombie, I just think it looks too cartoony. It looks very goofy looking. Not a fan of it whatsoever. They all just kind of fit in the same boat. Not huge on the posable characters besides the Scarecrow, to be quite frank with you. 2009, I think this is going to be a very hot take, but it is all spirit stuff. So for the worst this year, I have all boxed up. If you know me, you know that I hate all boxed up. And we'll get to 2010's Created Mummy as well. All boxed up, it's so boring. It's literally just a dude in a box and it shakes. But the audio is super corny. The prop doesn't look great. It's built like dog water, like all YJ stuff from that time period is. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's so bad. The Mummy is better, but spoiler, it is on this list. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Samantha and the SVI Flying Witch. Samantha is just like lost potential. I do think the prototype that talks is a lot better, but for this weird like SVI, what is the factory? Grand Talent just took like something. It's like all stuff that like Morbid is known for, with the spinning head and lighting up eyes, and that's it. And then like the baby noises, like they have zombie babies that do the exact same thing. I never cared for Samantha. I used to like her years ago, but definitely not now. She's grown off me so much to where she's now one of the worst of 09. And then the Flying Witch to me is just like, I like that it's more classic witch coded, and I think the head sculpt is pretty decent. It's just like the quality and the animation is not that great, and it's actually one of the reasons that Grinning Gertrude's grown off me so much, even though I think Grinning Gertrude is a lot better than this thing. I like that it's more scary, it's more sinister. I like the cartoony grin. I think it works a lot better on her sculpt compared to the Flying Witch. It's just boring. It's pretty much the only reasons here. 2010, the worst of this year is actually going to a Lost Props classic. It's the Treater Greeter Reaper. This thing is garbage. It's so bad. This was one of the biggest hunts for a Lost Prop ever, and it turned out to only be a Canadian exclusive. And yeah, this thing is terrible. It just has light up eyes, and it just stands there and talks. Like, that is it. It's got a super cheap head. It's got a Christmas tree base. It's borderline Sunstar. Like, it is really, really bad, to where I'm not even showing the video because like it doesn't even do anything. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Created Mummy and the Morbid Industries, I guess now they're called Enterprises, this late into the game. One Arm Wall Breaker. I think the two arm's a decent scare, but the one arm is just like a waste of catalog space. Like, what's the point? It has one arm that goes like this instead of two arms that go like this. This is scarier. This will startle more people than... That's so dumb. Like, why do that? Yeah, not a fan of either of these. But yeah, Created Mummy, same sentiment as All Boxed Up. But I will say Created Mummy is better because I like the Mummy sculpted better. I think the phrases are a little bit better. And the design of the box that it's in is also better. So that is where I stand with that. For 2011, the worst of this year is coming out of Morris Costumes. Actually, two props in here from Morris. I have Matilda the Crone. I don't know. These old SVI witches are just not it, in my opinion. I think that they got some decent sculpts, and I think they have some decent outfits, but the quality is so abysmal on anything before 2013 SVI. Like, it's so abysmal. And even 2013 SVI, there's a lot to discuss. I think 2015 onward is when they got like a little bit decent. But stuff like this is just... It hasn't aged good at all, and that's the issue, is that there is stuff on this list that wasn't bad when it came out, but has aged so poorly as just the times have moved on. And yeah, one of those things is Matilda the Crone, 100%. And then for the honorable mentions is where I'm going to get some people, because I have Hagatha the Witch from Morris and SVI, which is basically the same thing, so I'm not going to talk about it much. And then Zombie Bait. I have never liked Zombie Bait. I think Zombie Bait is easily the worst of YJ's upside down hanging things. More so than Cocoon Corpse. And I don't like Cocoon Corpse. And like, it's just, the face sculpt looks really bad. The big beady red light up eyes. And like, I get what it was made for, and it feels like it was just made to be a decoration on the ISE. I don't really see the appeal for a home haunter to have something like this, and I don't see the appeal for a pro haunter to have something like this because it's so ugly. Just buy a professional made Ghost Ride prop with the same victim ideology. I don't like it. Yeah, never been a fan of zombie bait. Never. I've never liked this thing. I think it's so overrated and it's just not good. 2012, another worst coming out of Morris and SVI. We have the Lunging Mad Dog. This was SVI's take at a lunging character all the way back in 2012. This is coming a year after the Jumping Spider. Very interesting fun fact. So it is cool to see that they got on that gimmick almost immediately. Good for them. But yeah, this and the zombie are not good, but the zombie did survive because the honorable mentions are going to Spirit Halloween's Zombie Swing Girl and Ghost Girl. Zombie Swing Girl, another one that I think is so overrated. It is so ugly. I don't know what it is about production ones, but they look like they just like took her face and squished it, and it's like it made her eyes pop out. It looks like she almost looked like she was like waterlogged. It's so weird. I've never liked Swing Girl. I think she's so ugly. I think her audio is so annoying. And like, I understand that in the right lighting and the right setting, she's super creepy. And I was like, oh, look at that, it's a creepy girl on a swing. And like back in 2012, I'm sure it was really effective. But nowadays, I don't care. It's ugly. I don't like it. There's better. There's way better. And then for the Ghost Girl, Jimmy did a weird experiment where they combined an inflatable and an animatronic, and it made this abomination creature called the Ghost Girl. This used to be one of my least favorite props of all time. I think it's dodged that list now as time has gone on, but it's still probably a top 20, top 30 worst, if I were to say so. Yeah, Ghost Girl, not good. Looks terrible. Super fat. It looks fat. It's like proportionately wrong. I don't like it. 2013, Morbid Enterprises takes it with Chopping Brock. Chopping Brock is, I think the prototype is but the issue with me comes with the very horrible paint job, the very cheap frame build, the very cheap outfit, the lack of feet, and the animation just being something that they've thrown on like 4 different animatronics around this time. Yeah, Chopping Brock's definitely the worst, but it has some competition with the honorable mentions going to Sarah the Sassy Witch and the remake Hex. So, Sarah the Sassy Witch, for a lot of people, was like the martyr for Jemmy's like downfall. I think it happened before that, in my personal opinion, but Sarah the Sassy Witch, I don't like the cartoon witch. It's like she's so strangely cunty. I don't like it. And like, we're actually going to talk about her later, funny enough, and it's just, yeah, I don't like the look. I think there is some decent additions to it. Like, I like the light up tutu, I guess. I think it's neat, but I think that concept was done better on SVI's witch that they had like 3 or 4 years ago through Walmart. I think that one's a lot better and does that concept a lot better of like a more humanoid, younger female witch. I just don't like Jemmy's take on it. It's very rough, and not a fan. For the honorable mentions as well, like I said, Hex remake. It's just the worst version of Hex from Morbid. I think the original Hex is a pretty decent prop. The static also pretty decent, but this remake one looks terrible. What are they doing? The thing with this, behind the lore of the remake Hex and the remake Spasm, was that JP Chan had marketed these in the concepts as being cheaper models in production. And like, it literally goes over all the stats and everything if you can find the concept art online, which I know it's probably pretty accessible. Yeah, this is one of the reasons that like I was so disappointed to find out that JP Chan is now a front runner in Halloween costumes design department. That's a terrible thing, knowing that this is what he was doing a decade ago, and things like that are what led to the downfall of Morbid Enterprises and their eventual closure. And then for 2014, the worst is the pop-up zombie toilet. It predicted Skibidi Toilet, I guess. It looks terrible. It's literally a foam head on like a pop-up mech. And like the toilet, the whole toilet, latex. It's so funny. So yeah, hate this thing with a passion. I think it's for novelties or something like that, but egregious. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Sarah the Sassy Witch again and the Caged Skeleton from Lowe's. So Sarah the Sassy Witch got a remake with a cauldron. I think this one's a little bit better. I think the color scheme is worse, but I like the animation better with the additional cauldron and whatnot. And then the Caged Skeleton is like the super embarrassingly nerfed version of the OG 07 Caged Skeleton, which frankly, looking back on my best props video, should have been on that video. Forgot all about it. But this Caged Skeleton is god awful. It is so bad. It's like, it really shouldn't count for this list because I think it's technically a hanging decoration. But yeah, it's rough. And now for 2015. 2015 is a year that a lot of people think is like really bad for what was going on at Spirit that year. And while I don't blame them, all of the bad stuff was online. So it gets kind of a pass. Deranged Bunny is my least favorite. Deranged Bunny, the overly blackwash sculpt, like it looks really bad on like the face that it has. It's like lion noises when it rises up out of the hat. It's so dumb. I've always hated Deranged Bunny. It's super stupid. Honorable mentions are going to the two big icons of worst props of all time though. Wheelchair Granny and the Chipmunk Roaming Zombie Girl. These are both so iconic. Originally I didn't even think to put them on the list. Actually, on the list as I'm reading it, I have the Evil Twins, but I just remembered the Chipmunk Girl. So I was like, wait, no, gotta put the Chipmunk Girl over the Evil Twins. Yeah, these two are like the most iconic worst props of all time. To the point where like both of them are so bad that they're like entertainingly bad. So it's like, they're icons. They're iconic. They're iconically bad. And like, that's why I gotta put them here in 2015, at least for the honorable mentions. I hate Deranged Bunny, but I also hate Wheelchair Granny and Chipmunk Girl, but they're so funny and stupid that like, I think it's fair. All right, and now on to 2016. The worst is coming from Morbid Enterprises with the Storybook Witch. This thing got nerfed a lot in production, which really is a shame. I think the prototypes for the thing were actually pretty decent, but by the time it came out, awful, terrible. And like, it's so hard to find now. Like, you can't find this thing. It's so weird. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe. And then for honorable mention, I have Lowe's and Jemmy with their White Reaper and the Lowe's like Countess. I think her name's just Countess. Yeah, these are bad. The Countess got remade a few times. Never got the appeal of this thing. I think it's so bad. I think the best one is still the Countess that they had in 2017. I think that one's good, and the Midnight Countess is also good. But besides those two, anytime that they try this like younger female type character, they just suck. This is a prime example of that. And the Reaper also very bad. It's built super cheap. It's weak sauce. Glad that like a lot of these have just been forgotten by everybody, and I feel like for a lot of people this could even be their first time seeing some of these props. 2017, dominated by Pan Asian. 2017's worst is the CVS Jump Scare Pumpkin. This is one that a lot of people probably actually have nostalgia with. A lot of those CVS animatronics people are very nostalgic with, myself included. You know, I remember the pirates and the little 3-foot clowns. But one that I remember hating off of from day one, all the way back then. I wasn't even like a Haunter back then, and I remember hating this thing. It's the pumpkin that wears the hood, that pops up, and it just screams. Stupid. I hate these things so much. And frankly, I should start putting them at like worst prop lists that I do. Because honestly, I forgot about them until I made this video. But yeah, they are awful. And for the honorable mentions, I have the Jump Scare Reaper that Home Depot had. The only reason that I like this one more than the pumpkin is I like the red and black. And then the other honorable mention is going to Farmer Fred from Morbid Enterprises. Just ugly looking. No blackwash whatsoever. Sculpt looks really bad. Our animation's super stiff. The way it holds that arm is so awkward. Yeah. Bad. It's very, very bad. So 2018 was the year that I really got into haunting. This was the first year that I had started buying stuff from Spirit. I had gone to make my channel a year later, and I remember everything that came out in 2018 very, very fondly. So I think this is a year that holds a special place in my heart for how bad it is, and with the worst being Morbid Enterprises Valak. Valak is like insane. I can't believe like Party City approved of that. It's like they just took whatever Morbid had like on their catalog and was like, yes, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. Like, I don't understand the process. And somehow those other Party City props aren't on this list because Lowe's is still putting up fantastic numbers, and their two honorable mentions are going to them with their remake life-size Zoltan and the werewolf that they had that year. What are these? These are atrocious. So this was the year that Jemmy started working with Party Time to get stuff produced in their factories under like the Jemmy moniker, but Party Time did everything for production, and it shows. It shows so much. It's so bad. Yeah, the Zoltan and the werewolf, these are like two of the most iconic bad props ever, but Valak, Valak is just a whole other beast, in my opinion, and I've talked about it on the channel before. Valak is unbelievably just egregious. 2019, the year that I made my channel. I talked about all the props at 2019 at some point on my channel, and I've been negative about every single one. The worst going to Jemmy's Beetlejuice. I think that the remake is better. It's still not great. And then the one with the red tuxedo is better, but also still not great. So yeah, this one is just the worst of the worst. It's just the animation's stupid. He looks stupid. If you can't get the Michael Keaton's, like, use his face or whatever you call it, just don't make the prop. Like, just don't do it, because this is what you get. It's so bad, and it's, yeah. And then for the honorable mentions, very difficult year to actually come up with honorable mentions, but I gave it to the Techie Pop-Up Well Pennywise and the Morbid Enterprises Floating Pennywise. Floating one's just kind of, it's bad, but like, it's better than the one they had in like 2 years prior, I think, or the year prior, which is also bad, but it's better. And then the Pop-Up Well Pennywise, I think is like probably the second best thing on this list. It's just, I had to pick something. The foam well facade that it has, and then the really weak pop-up and the awful audio, had to give it to this one for sure. 2020. This one has 2 more icons of worst props of all time. But I gave it to the Michael Myers, you know, of course. I think this is one that I've gone on record to say is the worst animatronic ever made. Somehow I don't actually believe that anymore. I don't. And we'll actually talk about the worst of the worst prop of all time here very soon on this list. But yeah, it's terrible. It's still terrible. The ringtone, the one animation, the lack of any black wash on the mask, the jumpsuit, it's prime. It's prime slop. It is prime slop. It was Jemmy's like magnum opus of just total BS. And here it is on the list. And for the honorable mentions, of course, Johnny Punk. Duh. Why would you not have Johnny Punk on a list like this? He's terrible. He's still terrible, but he's like classically bad. He's like iconically bad, just like Wheelchair Granny and the Chipmunk Girl. And then the other one is Mommy's Favorite. You used to like Mommy's Favorite like when she first came out. Grown off me way since then. Stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I'm glad that Betty Sharp slimed her out. I am very glad Betty Sharp slimed her out. 2021. The debut of Halloween costumes animatronics. Worst of the worst. Funzo. Funzo the Clown. Oh my god. I remember when this was revealed and I was flabbergasted. I was totally and utterly flabbergasted. This thing is so bad. I can't believe that it like made it into production. And you know, Party Gears isn't leaving this list, not even in like this year. They come back, don't worry. But 2021's honorable mentions are the Towering Pumpkin from Halloween Costumes, who is like probably the 3rd best thing on this list. It's still pretty weak though. And then the other honorable mention is going to Morris Costumes with Cotton Candace. Morris around this time has some pretty cool, you know, the clown rides, the doll rides, the victims in the cages, the victim props with animatronics holding kids and stuff like that. And they're all cool. So most of them are cool. This was the worst one by far, Cotton Candace, because it uses the really bad sculpt of the face of the children. It looks super disfigured in the thing. Like the animation's really bad. It's super small and it's like $200. Yeah, Cotton Candace, pretty bad. 2022. Laughs and shrieks, shivers and shrills. Ow. Costumes Jack in the Box. Yeah. The audio, terrible. The color palette, egregious. The sculpt, egregious. What haven't I said yet? A lot of the stuff that goes with him also goes for Funzo, but I think Funzo is carried by the shoes. This thing doesn't have shoes to carry it. So, yeah, it's just really bad all around. Jack in the Box. And then for the honorable mentions, this might surprise people. Betty Sharp did not make this list. She didn't make the list. The honorable mentions are going to Lowe's Crouching Gravedigger and Spirit's Rat Girl. So the Crouching Gravedigger, horrible. It's a knockoff for starters. It's a knockoff of a techie prop from like a year or 2 prior. Like what? Why? And then it just looks so bad. The animation's really bad. I don't gotta talk about it. And then Rat Girl, very close with the Jack in the Box for the worst. I think in another lifetime it probably could be. Literally within the next few minutes I could decide it's the worst. Rat Girl, I think, is the worst thing Spirit has ever sold. Still to this day, even over stuff like Teddy, even over stuff like Crypt Countess, even over stuff like Betty Sharp and Mommy's Favorite, and all the stuff that we talked about earlier on this list. I do think that Rat Girl is the worst thing Spirit has ever sold. So kudos to them that it's actually just at honorable mentions for 2022. Good for them. 2023, the worst animatronic of all time, I think, is the worst prop of 2023. It's the 12-foot scientist. Yeah, it's the 12-foot scientist. It's... Why? It's like, this is a prop that leaves me genuinely speechless. Like, it really is. Like, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Why? What were they thinking? I can't even, like, I'm speechless. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Brick Thunder's Drop Down Clown banner, and then I have Home Depot's Sinister Steve. So the Drop Down Clown banner, in concept, could be pretty cool, except that this is literally a sheet of like vinyl paper or like tarp. I don't know what it is. It's like a window. It's like a window blind. That's all it is. It's a gentrified window blind, and it's stupid. I don't like it. And then Sinister Steve, I don't gotta talk much about him. I think you guys know, between the face configurations that came out on production ones, the whole concept of the prop itself is egregious. The only thing I can give it props for is that it's $90. It's cheap, which is cool for the animations that it has. I think it's got like 3 animations, which is fine, but the concept's dumb, looks dumb. Sinister Steve, very overrated as well. 2024, At Home does it for 2 years in a row. Worst of this year, the 12-foot witch. 12-foot witch from At Home. Yeah, it's very close with the scientist. I think the one thing that it has over the scientist is that it's actually a Halloween character, but it still doesn't look good. It's another thing where it's Jemmy. This is Jemmy, and guess what? That same logic of every time that they make a young witch, it looks stupid, and it still works here. Terrible. And then for the honorable mentions, I have Dr. Finkelstein from Halloween Costumes and Jemmy, and Beatrice the Maid from Lowe's and Jemmy. So Jemmy was on a generational run this year, as you can see. They did a great job, apparently. Yeah. Don't gotta talk about much about either of these. They're very, very bad. 2025, just last year, list hasn't changed too much. If you watch my ranking every animatronic of the year list, this is literally the exact order that it goes in. The worst is Halloween Costumes Valak, and then the honorable mentions are the Brick Thunder Clown Stack and Two-Faced Teddy. So if you watch that video, go watch the video. I give more thoughts there, but these are all very, very bad. This Valak is just like a smidge better than the Morbid one, in my opinion. It's kind of where I stand. And then for 2026, so far, I think I actually have some very divisive opinions when it comes to my worst of the worst here. So the worst is going to Morris Costumes with the Forced Spirit. I think that's its name. I don't remember its name, but it sucks. It's the Wendigo with a lantern. It's literally like, so Two-Faced Teddy, and I say this in my Morse reaction video, Two-Faced Teddy is Crazy Creates Spare Parts Bin. This Wendigo from SVI and Morse is SVI's Spare Parts Bin animatronic, and it's really stupid. Hate it. It's disproportionate, the animation's boring, outfit looks bad, nothing's right, the size is wrong, it's lazy, I hate it. And the honorable mentions I'm giving to Spirit's Welcome to Derry Pennywise and the Morris Costumes Axe Clown. So the Pennywise, a lot of people don't like this thing, myself included. While I actually haven't yet to watch Welcome to Derry, I don't think it would change my opinions on this thing too much. It just looks so ugly. And like, granted, we don't have a really real, there's an AI upscale of it that goes around a lot, but we don't have a real actual clear photo of this thing yet. So, but even still, the all over red, it doesn't look right on an animatronic at all. And then for the Axe Clown, this is literally the definition of like the most generic thing you've ever seen. Sing song. It's like, why even make this? This is so unnecessary. Like, we've gotten so many props with this exact same idea. It's nothing new. We're in 2026. We need to move on from making dumb stuff like this. And that is the end of the list. I hope you guys did enjoy. I think that I'm very happy with my thoughts here. I have some very divisive opinions in here, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know, who is your least favorite animatronic of all time? What are some of your worst from the last couple years? Would love to hear it, would love to see it. And I'm Spooky Guy 444. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.